Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to another home learning lesson. We will begin today's lesson with a prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Oh my God, you love me. You're with me night and day. I want to love you always, in all I do and say. I will try to please you, Father. Bless me through this day. Amen. Today's learning objective is to use modal verbs to write persuasively. Writing to persuade means that you want to convince your reader that what you're saying is true. You'll need to do this by thinking carefully about the language you use and the information that you provide. There are different ways of writing to persuade, such as adverts or posters, a persuasive talk or speech, or a campaign. Can you think of a time when you've had to persuade someone? Think about what you said and the words that you used. The most important part of writing to persuade is being able to convince your reader of something. To do this effectively, you'll need to use a range of different features. You could use imperative verbs. Imperative verbs tell the reader what to do. They help to get your message across really clearly. For example, buy this floating fence post today. Improve the places that you love. You could also use repetition. You could use this to make sure that you really get your point across. You'll want to repeat important facts or the name of a product. Be careful not to make your writing sound too repetitive. You could use adverbials. You would use adverbials to engage with your reader. These could be used as fronted adverbials, like surely you can agree, or unbelievably, this product is on sale at an incredibly low price. You could also use rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions are questions which don't need an answer. They can help your reader to feel like you are talking specifically to them. Are you fed up with something? Here are some other persuasive devices you may use. Alliteration, facts and opinions, repetition, rhetorical questions, emotive language and exaggerations, and statistics. Alliteration is the stylistic device of using a series of words that begin with the same sound. Here's an example: walking wallabies wobble, or a particularly perfect pizza. Can you think of an alliteration phrase which includes an animal or a pet? Think about how they act, what they look like, how they move, sounds they make, and their environment. For example, the cute cuddly koala came close quickly. Pause the video and give yourself a chance to make a few of these yourself. Next we have facts. A fact is something which is truthful and can be proven. Facts can be used to support a point that is being made. For example, a triangle has 3 straight sides. That is a fact. Cats have whiskers. That is a fact. People need water to survive. We know that is a fact. Now, an opinion is someone's point of view about something that is not based on fact or knowledge. So, The fact of the triangle is that it has three sides. The opinion is that triangles are easy to draw. The fact about the cat was that cats have whiskers, and the opinion would be that cats are cute. The fact about water is that people need water to survive, and the opinion would be that you need to drink 2 to 3 litres of water each day to survive. Look at these pictures. Discuss and list the facts and opinions related to these pictures. Our next persuasive device is repetition. This means to repeat something more than once. This can be done by repeating the words or sentences in the same way. Here's an example. Cats are the best. They make great pets and are very friendly. Cats are the best. Or the meaning can be retained but started in a different way using the same words. Cats are the best. They make great pets and are very friendly. You should choose a cat because they are the best pet. Imagine you are trying to sell some cupcakes. How can you use repetition to get your point across? Let's look at these cakes. We could say, these cupcakes are delicious. Try repeating the words and then restating what you are saying in a different way. Next we have rhetorical questions. A rhetorical question is one that does not require an answer. Here are some examples. Can you really afford to ignore this warning? Will you let this bargain pass you by? How will you ever forgive yourself if you don't buy this product? Next we have emotive language. Sometimes writers deliberately choose words to be emotive. Emotive language means words that create an emotion in the reader. What does this make you feel? What are the emotive words? After Christmas every year, there are thousands of abandoned puppies left to wander the streets, scared and alone. Only your support can rescue them. Pause the video now and think about what emotive language was used. Maybe this is something you can use later. Next we have exaggerations. Exaggeration is a statement or information that is untrue or over the top. For example, I could eat a horse, I'm that hungry. I will explode if I am asked to do that again. The motorbike travelled faster than the speed of light. Finally, we have statistics. These are factual data used to convince the reader. Here's some examples. 95% of people agreed it was the best pizza they had ever tasted. 85% of children believe homework should be abolished. What data could you use if you were trying to persuade people to eat healthily? Pause the video now and have a think. A piece of persuasive writing could also be called an exposition. An exposition is a piece of writing used to persuade or convince a reader of what the writer's point of view or opinion is. When we read these texts, we often see an argument being presented. The argument is either for or against a particular topic or theme. These types of texts are not used for entertainment. They are a persuasive type of text, and they are used to persuade or convince. So what is the structure of an exposition? Firstly, it will need a title. This tells the reader exactly what the text is about. The title should be direct and to the point. After the title, we will have the introduction. The introduction should be clear and it should state your opinion. Your aim is to grab the reader's attention and to make them want to read your argument. This should include two things. It should include a statement of position on what you believe about the topic. This statement of position should introduce the argument. And next, you need to provide a brief overview of the important points you will present in your text. You may also want to give some background information about your topic. Next is the main body of your persuasive exposition. This body is a series of ordered and clear arguments. Each of your statements will be presented in separate paragraphs and must include a topic sentence at the beginning of each paragraph. Organize your paragraphs using time sequence words like firstly, secondly, furthermore, finally, or and to conclude. And keep it clear, concise, and to the point. Do not add any new information that you did not highlight in your introduction. Finally comes your conclusion. The conclusion simply sums up the text in a powerful way. It is very similar to the structure of your introduction, but it must restate your position as powerfully as possible and sum up your argument, and remember to not include any new information. Time for a quick task. I'd like you to use the information from your non-chronological report and plan your persuasive piece of writing before we start writing it today. Time for today's main task. Using your plan, Ben's letter, and the information from your non-chronological report, write a persuasive piece of writing that persuades people to save the giant kelp forest. This letter's from Ben. Dear children, my story happened over 14 years ago, but the events that day in the sea changed how I see my world, our world. In the blink of an eye, when I was faced with the whale, I came to realize that it was fear of the unknown making me act so uncaringly towards nature. It was Sophie who showed me the beauty of the underwater forest and that there was nothing to fear. Here's a success criteria I'd like you to use today. I would like you to use imperative verbs, adverbials, alliteration, facts and opinions, repetition to make your point, rhetorical questions, emotive language and exaggeration, and statistics. Well done Year 6, that's the end of another lesson. I'd love to see some of your work from today's lesson, so be sure to email it into the school email and I will check through them.